some tips before starting the video, because I have a few tips that I'm going to be letting you know before we start the video, so you won't freak out or anything like that. So some tips are, if I become silent, I'm not talking anymore, it doesn't mean your computer broke or your sound broke. You are perfectly fine. It's just I'm not talking in that period, right? And I'm not talking at that time right now. So nothing happened to your computer. Your computer is fine. It's just I'm just silent. So also, when I move my hands up toward me and you see nothing in some of the videos, that means I'm just moving the creation toward my face so I can see much better than when I'm just crunched down like that. Because if you just crunch down like that, it's kind of far away from your face, and if you're trying to make little tiny details, you're gonna have to put it close to your face so you can actually see what you're doing. Because I'm not just gonna stay away from it and then I can't even see anything. So also, one biggie that you're gonna have to remember is please put your sound up. I know I'm a very quiet speaker, and that's why in some of the videos you can't really hear me. So that's why you're going to have to put the volume up all the way so at least you can hear me. And because I am very quiet, I don't speak up that much in class and in different times, and in videos, let's say. So just please put your sound up so you can actually hear what I'm doing and not just stand there and see that your sound's broken or something like that. So nothing broke, your computer didn't break, it's just I am very quiet. And also, don't remember to hold on. Well, remember to have fun and actually learn how to create stuff, because I'm kind of this is my passion time project and I'm spending time working on it. So I want you to have fun and at least learn how to make some of the stuff that I'm making in the videos and learn different things that I studied and researched. Because if you're not having fun with my video and all the things that I did to teach others on how to use clay, and I kind of did pointless. So I hope you at least enjoy the video, and well, technically a movie because it's really long. And I hope you can teach others on how to do it too. So now let's go on to the real video. Hi guys, it's Audrey, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys on how to do my Passion Time project. And my Passion Time project uses clay, so I'm going to be teaching you guys on how to make 3 sculptures using baking clay that I have from my own house. So I'm going to be teaching you on I'm going to be using my Klutz book that I got from Klutz. It's with these clay charms. And I'm also going to be using my baking clay that I have. And this is what I'm going to be using. And so I'm going to be teaching you how to make a donut, a hamburger or cheeseburger. If you wanted a cheeseburger, you can just put cheese on. If you don't, then you don't have to put cheese. That's optional. And I'm also going to be teaching you on how to make a pig. So first we're going to be doing the donut, and I'm using my book to help me. So I'm going to be following these steps. And like in this picture, if you don't want frosting on your donut, then you don't have to do step 2. And if you want a hole in it, then you can do just step 1 and step 5. So I'll just show you the steps here. You can take a moment to look at it. Or you can pause the video if you want to look at it. And you can pause the video anytime you want, so that you can actually so you can catch up on what I'm doing if I'm going a little bit too fast. So for the base of the donut, I'm going to be using this orangish color, because I would normally be using this color for my donut thing, but I don't have that much of it. It's not that much, and I don't want to waste it, so I'm just going to be using this color. And for the frosting, I'm going to be using
green. And for sprinkles, I'm just going to be using this lighter green and this yellow. So first off, we're going to take a little bit of my base color, because these are charms. You don't want them to be that big that you can't even like wear it on your bracelet or something like that. So you're going to take your piece of clay and make it into a little ball. You just put it between your palms and just rub like that. So it's going to come out like a little circle. And then you're going to press it gently with, I have a little tool that came with the clutch. It's like a little knife thingy. And also you can use it to press down stuff. And has a little pokey tool that's great for making like holes. So first off, so we're just gonna like press down lightly. You don't want it to be too like flat, because then it's gonna look like a pancake, and you don't want a pancake. So make it like it has a little bit of thickness to it. So just press it down, not that much though, and that's gonna be your base. Now we're kind of gonna do the same thing for the frosting. So we're gonna take a little bit less for the frosting, so that when you smush it, it's actually gonna fit and not go over. So you're gonna take a little less, and you're also going to rub that against your palms into a ball. It's gonna fall off since it's kind of tiny, but and then no, I just lost it. Okay, so then you're gonna flatten it. You're gonna flatten it a little bit more, like that. Like you kind of want it to be a thin pancake. And since I'm doing it on the carpet, it's kind of like rugged thingy. It's like a bit rough. So then you're gonna put this frosting on top of your donut. Press it down lightly, not too much, because then it's gonna go over the edges. So it kind of looks like a carrot, like a very weird carrot thingy with like no point to it. But this is kind of what you want it to look like. So if you don't want sprinkles, then you're gonna, well, I forgot to mention it at first. If you don't have the clutch kit tool thingies, like all these tools, you can use what you find at home. Like if you want to make a hole in your donut, you can use like a toothpick or anything that's gonna be good for making holes. And if you want to like cut stuff, then you can use like plastic knives. So you can just go around your house finding stuff that might be good. So if you don't want sprinkles, you just put your whatever you have in, you twist, and that's going to make a hole. But then you're going to have to look at the other side and see if there's a hole there. If not, then you put where you have a little tiny hole, you put it again, stick it in, twist a little bit, and that's going to be your donut. Excuse me. But I'm going to keep going and put my sprinkles on. So for the sprinkles, you're not going to be needing that big or huge amount of clay. So I'm going to be using light green and yellow. So take a tiny bit of your clay, not that big, and just roll it into a tiny ball. Just press down lightly. That might be a bit too big. You have to see if it's big enough or small enough. So then I just rolled it into a snake, like a little tiny thin snake, and just ripped it apart a little bit. And now I have this little tiny piece. I'm gonna roll it, and since you have like a very tiny piece, my trick I use is just press it down lightly on your finger so it won't fall off. You put it on your palm and just have a finger that goes around like that. And there you have a little circle, and then you just press that down lightly. And you have to press it down a little bit so it's actually gonna stick onto the donut when you bake it. And if you don't have baking clay, then you can use modeling clay. Just beware, it might be a little bit squishy. Sorry if I'm being silent. I'm just going to kind of finish this. Almost there. There. So that is my donut so far. And I'm going to put a hole. Some donuts don't have like holes in them, and if you don't want a donut with a hole, then you don't have to. So I'm going to be taking my tool and I'm going to stick it right in the middle of the donut. I'm just going to put it on my finger because I don't want it to like get destroyed. So push down and then you can move your tool or the donut. So it's going to have like a little hole. You can see a little hole. And on the other side, you can't really see a hole, can you? Then you're just going to go on the other side. Press down and twist. And there you have your nice little donut, which is kind of small, but it's a charm, so it is going to be small. So that is on how to make a donut. So next we're going to be making the hamburger / cheeseburger. So like I said in my introduction, you can make a cheeseburger if you want. You just have to put cheese. And if you don't want a cheeseburger and you like hamburgers better, then you don't have to put cheese. So that's optional. So here are my colors. Normally I would be using this brownish lightish color as my bun. Like I said in the other video, I'd be using it for my donut base, but I'd rather be using this for my buns, but I have a very tiny amount and you kind of need a bit more than just a tiny amount of that light color. So I'm going to be using this brown color for my burger bun. It might look a little bit weird, but still a hamburger. So next, this is going to be what I'm going to be using for my lettuce. Since lettuce is green, this is what I'm going to be using. You can use any color you want for your veggies, and you can use any color you want for the bun. And cheese, if you want like cheddar cheese, you can use orange. It doesn't really matter. So that's for my lettuce. This is for my buns. This red is going to be for my tomatoes. This is going to be actually for the burger, the meat that's going to go inside. And this is, I'm going to use yellow for cheese. Like I said, you don't have to have cheese if you don't want to. So, first, we're going to be using kind of a lot, not that much. So, I'm just going to take a large amount, but I'm not going to be using all of it. So, I'm just going to be like splitting it, so it's going to be easier. So, I'll just split it into thirds. So, see.
Hi guys, it's Bridget, and so it's another passion.
So this might be a little bit
board game is
bigger
pretty much almost
than
done,
what you want.
which I'm
So,
very
like I
excited
said,
about.
these are
So I've
clay
got the
charms.
start and the
So you don't want them
finish.
to be that big
I
that
wanted
they're
to
not
just
going to
give
fit
you
on the
guys a little
bracelet.
bit of words and
So you
advice when
can
you're making these.
Have any
There's
size you
something
want.
that you probably would like to know.
Doesn't matter. You just have to
You're
keep
gonna need
measuring
a lot of paper
to
towels
see
for
how
this,
much you
because
want.
glue will spill on the edges and you just need to wipe it off
So,
the edges and stuff. So you'll
I
need
guess-
paper towels. And then tape.
And also
You'll
roll
need
this
tape,
into
and
a
the
ball, so it's
paper
going to
will
be the
start
easiest
ripping, and
way
you'll need tape and
to
glue.
flatten it.
So pretty much,
So I guess
things that you
this
need.
is going to be, this is a good size.
You need markers.
So you still
you need,
need
paper,
another
you
one.
Need tape.
So this is going to
You
be the
need
top.
Glue, you need
But
paper,
for the bottom, you don't want that
green or
much
whatever color paper,
of clay. So I'm just going to like
paper
cut this in
towels,
half a little bit.
more markers,
And I'm going to put this into a ball.
scissors. So that's, I'm just trying to
You don't want it to
make
be
sure
too
you guys
small, then
don't
not
have the
everything's
rookie
going to be
mistake
fitting
that I
onto
did
it.
on my first board game.
So like that. See?
I
Yeah, they're almost the
printed
same
out
size.
some
So
questions
those two are going to be
and,
my buns.
Like for
Yeah,
this
let
is
me just
questions for pink and purple, and then on the
put
back,
it
I
in
don't
the
know
back.
if you can see this pink and purple. Pick
Kind of
pink
hard
and
because
purple.
it's really
Pick one
dry,
question
but that's
and
okay.
answer.
So for the buns,
So one of the questions is how
Hold
often
on,
do you
I'm
see your
just
grandparents?
gonna-
So pretty much they're random questions. So
Okay,
if you
I'm just gonna
land
use this for
on
my
a pink or purple,
flattening
you'll,
because I'm
answer
using
one
this
of the
rug that has
random
bumps on it.
questions.
I don't want the
Um,
buns to get destroyed.
And
So-
then I'm gonna do
Sorry,
other
I just
things.
smushed my bun.
So pink and purple are
So,
together, red
I'm
and
gonna
orange
flatten
are together,
both
green and blue are
These
together.
buns. So first, I'm going to use the
So
bottom.
yeah, it's pretty
Don't
much
flatten it too
really,
much like a pancake, like I
fun
said in the
to
other
do.
video. Just flatten it a little
Um,
bit.
It's really fun to do.
So that should be a good amount.
It's
And
really
now let's flatten the other one
hard because I messed up.
like that. They should kind of be the same size. Like that. I don't know. They kind of should be the same size. It doesn't have to. It doesn't always have to be perfect. If you're like the perfect person, then you can do whatever you want. So you're gonna kind of want to curve this because it's the top one. So what I do to curve it, put the clay flattened pancake on top and just press down on the edges like that. So now it kind of looks curves like that. So now you have two little buns. Let's just put these here. So now we're going to be doing the lettuce. So you don't want that much for your lettuce. Unless you want a lot of lettuce, you don't put that much. So I'm going to be maybe using about that much. A little bit more, I guess, because lettuce is healthy for you. You kind of want it. Because if you don't have lettuce in your burger, then I don't know. Because lettuce in a burger is amazing. If you don't want it, then you don't have to put whatever ingredients that I'm using, like lettuce, tomato, cheese. You don't have to have lettuce if you don't want to. If you don't have to have tomatoes. It doesn't matter. You can just put whatever you want in your burger / cheeseburger. So I have my ball, and I'm just gonna flatten it like that. You kind of want it to be flat. Excuse me, but not too much. So like that. Now you can just tear off a little bit like that. Tear it, not that much, but sort of. Like, I don't know, like, you kind of want it to look like lettuce, so. It kind of looks like lettuce, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it kind of looks like lettuce. So now, you're gonna have, this is my bottom bun. Take your bottom bun and put the lettuce on top of the bottom bun. Mine actually fits perfectly, which is awesome. So that's your lettuce. Next, we're gonna do my tomatoes. And tomatoes, it depends on how many tomatoes you want. I'm gonna be using 2. You don't have to put that much. So I have a 10. You're not gonna be using that much. So they're kind of gonna be little tiny, very small, like maybe that size. I don't know. Doesn't matter. You can do as much as you want. So I'm gonna put that, and I'm gonna get my other one. That's kind of small. You can see like the difference. It's really tiny. You kind of want them to be the same size. Okay. So I still have to add a little bit more. Let's see if this is gonna fit. Well, I guess they are the same size. It's not that bad. So those are going to be your 2 tomatoes. And for the tomatoes, you're also going to flatten them. So my tip is to put them together a little bit and just smush them at the same time.
Today is another passion time update.
So they're both smashed evenly.
And
you can kind of see this one's bigger than the other, but that's okay. So you can just take your smaller one and smush it a little bit more.
There's then rolling the dice,
kind of like that,
I
but
want a plain dice so I can
it's okay.
color it.
So take your tomatoes and just place them on the lettuce and the bottom bun.
One sheet of question is
and
done.
That's you have your lettuce, the bottom bun,
them are done. I still need
and the tomatoes.
Orange and red and blue and
So
green.
now
I need 2 more
we're gonna
sheets
do
of
the cheese.
So after
Well,
I'm
actually,
done with
first we're
that,
gonna do the burger before
I
we
show
do
you
the
guys
cheese.
what I'm doing
So
for my
take
box
a
of the board.
decent amount.
For the board. So I got,
Everything's falling.
So I got a Justice
Let's see.
Clothes box from when you order them. I'm just gonna put paper over it so it can be.
I think this might be a little bit too
different
big
box
for
instead
a
of and just reusing a
burger.
box.
So like I said, you can measure as big as you want, as small as you want. You just have to remember they are clay charms. You don't want them to be giant ones. So my book is based on clay charms, but you can make them any size you want. Any size.
Sometimes directions.
So now you have your ball.
Or you can like
them
put
you
little
want.
slots for them
You're
to
gonna
go
flatten
on
it
here.
again.
Whatever you really want.
But you're not gonna flatten it so much it's like a
That's
pancake.
gonna be my board.
Like
just
like that.
adjust this box
So you can still see
the board,
that it has enough
and
thickness.
I'm pretty sure it can fit
And
down,
if
so
you
I'm
want it
gonna
to
show
look
you
like
guys
a real
how you're gonna
hamburger
fit them
or
in here. So,
cheeseburger, you can use your toothpick and just make little holes
just wanna
on
open the bottom. It's
the
pretty hard to
edges.
open.
Like that.
So
Let me go around
the only bad part about these are they start creasing at the edges, but
like that. So you can kind of see.
so
It
I
now
haven't
kind of
flipped
looks
this
more
in a
like a
while, so we wanna just make
burger.
sure it's working.
You can take your bottom bun of the
Other
lettuce
way.
and the tomatoes and put your burger
And after you do that, when it breaks,
on the
that means you need some
on
tape.
both
So fold it and you put it
on
in here.
that.
And
You're gonna
then
press
put
down
the
lightly.
direction in here, and
So
then
it's actually
you
gonna
put
stay
this thing
while
in
you
here,
bake it.
and you close
Like that.
the box.
And in this video, I'm going to be using cheese. Like I said, cheese is optional. You don't have to put it on if you don't want to. But I'm just going to do it.
And then I'll just cover it in paper, and
ugh,
this is my
so hard.
box. The bottom isn't very
okay.
good, but the top is pretty
So,
well
yeah.
edged and everything. I don't know
Maybe about
why
that
the
size.
bottom isn't
That's
like
good.
that.
So
it might
take
mean
your
I need to
cheese.
use bottom and keep the top.
And smush it like a really thin pancake.
So that's how I'm gonna box it.
But don't do.
And
Just try not to break it, because then it's going to be like
I
a
want to show you
not that good. So to make a square, since cheese are mostly square, you
You
just
see, when
cut
you
off
fold
the
it
edges
this way,
that are
it
round like that.
rips.
So you can see that.
You can see it right
And
there.
cut off
It's
this edge.
ripping all there. So you pretty much just
Make
lay
as
it
big
down
of cheese as you want.
and put tape over it.
Squeeze. I'm not going
Pretty
to cut
much
off that
you wanna
much,
put tape
because last
all
time I made a
over it
burger,
without moving.
I cut
So
off a
maybe,
bit
like,
too much.
You can do something else.
That it was
like,
very
I know people really do
small
all the
cheese,
time, but you can like,
and you don't want small cheese unless.
put like a sheet
you
of
don't
paper,
want that much
clear
cheese.
sheet of paper, like almost a
So, I have my
lamination
cheese
machine
now.
or something over,
Yeah,
so
put it on the
stays,
burger.
But I don't have one of those, so.
And those are all your toppings
And then
that
it'll
you
be
have.
fine.
And take
So
take the
that
top
is
bun
my
and just put it on
tutorial.
top
That's my passion time
of
update
everything
today on
that
my
you just made.
Bye.
So now you can just smush it as much as you want to make it look like a real burger. But I just smushed it a little bit right now. So that is your amazing burger that you just created. And once it's baked, you can always have a Sharpie, like a marker. Well, I would recommend a Sharpie. You can always draw like faces on whatever creations you have, and put any detail that you want with a Sharpie once it's baked. But if you don't have baking clay and you don't bake it, I recommend not putting a Sharpie on the stuff that you bake that is not bakeable, because then you're technically just going to be ruining the Sharpie, which isn't going to be good. So that is my burger. I accidentally flipped it off. So that is your burger that you made, and next is going to be something that you might like.
Okay, so in this video, I am gonna, let's call it attempt, to try to make my own clay creations. And so my plan is to make a dolphin and a monkey. So first I'm gonna try to make a dolphin. If I fail at this, then you can try at home and try and make it better than mine. But this is an attempt, so it might not go out perfectly. So for the dolphin, I'm going to be using this blue sparkly color for the fins and the tail and the base of the dolphin. And along the way, I might see if I need like white or something, or any other color like that. Okay, so you can follow along if you want with your own clay, but this is just an attempt. So be prepared for me to start changing stuff and not having the best creation, because it might turn out really bad. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the base of the dolphin. I might use kind of a big chunk because it might be a big dolphin, I'm not sure. So my plan is to like roll this into like a kind of a hot dog form, like a very thick snake, and I'm gonna make that snake a little curved So it kind of looks like the dolphin's like jumping out. And I'm just gonna add like the fin on top and the tail and all that. So let's try this. Alright, so I think this is good enough. Big enough, I believe. Okay. And it could be as big as you want. Like I said, it does not matter. Okay, so I think this would be good. So I'm just gonna have to decide what's gonna be the head. I think this might be the head because it's a little bit bigger than the rest of the body. So now I'm just gonna like fold it a little bit. You don't want to fold it that it's like gonna break, but you can kind of like fold it like a cane, like there. Yeah, I think that's good. So now I'm gonna try to make the tail. I'm gonna do it the same exact thing like I did just here, but I'm gonna use less clay. So it's not gonna be like a ginormous tail, because dolphins don't have that big tail like the body, but I'm just gonna do the same exact thing. So I'm gonna roll it out. And you want it kind of to be not that long, but a little bit long, so you can at least fold it. Not like this stubby little tail. And I'm gonna like do a triangle a little bit. But you can do it however you want it. This is my attempt, like I said, so I'm just gonna be thinking to do over along the way. So I'm gonna attach my beautiful tail to the back. And I'm gonna have to decide what's this is gonna be the head. So I'm gonna attach this to here. And you kind of want it to stick because you don't want it to fall apart. And see, you can shape it however you want once it's like on there because it might not be perfect. Sorry if you can't see anything because I'm trying to like get it good. Well, kind of looks like a dolphin, but not so much. Well, like I said, it is an attempt, so I'm not going to make it perfect. But I think it's good. Yeah, I guess it's good. Now we're just going to add the fins and the little, just fins. So for the fins, you might want to make them like triangle-ish, because they're going to be like shaped as a triangle. And I believe they look like triangles, like very long triangles. So let's make this into a triangle. I'm not going to use this much like I did on the tail because, let me just fix this. I don't like how it looks. Okay. Because it's not going to be bigger than the tail. It's going to be a little bit smaller. And I'm going to like flatten it out. And you can shape however you want it, so it's going to look like a dolphin to you. And I'm just going to like stretch it, so it's going to get bigger. But you have to be very careful because you don't want it to like break. Because that's going to be really bad. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. Okay, let's see. Well, kind of looks like a fish. Not so much as a dolphin, but it does look like a fish to me. So I'm going to add fins to the sides now. And I'm going to make them not that big. Because I don't even remember how dolphins look like, which is sad, but let's see. And I'm gonna like, okay, that's what I have so far now. And it kind of actually looks like a dolphin, it's just the tail is not really making it look like a dolphin. You can kind of imagine. And this is not even in the book, so I'm trying to make it up. So if I fail at this, then I fail. So at least I'm trying to do stuff, because over the past when I had this clay stuff, I was like making my own because I was like bored and stuff. So I wasn't even using the book. I was making like, it has pigs in the book, but I added like top hats and a monocle to them. I just added stuff to whatever they have. So, and I made like different stuff like pens and like mostly anything you want. It's just like your imagination, so it can do whatever you want. Well, I guess it kind of looks like a dolphin. A little bit, actually. So this was my attempt. I guess I kind of failed. It kind of looks really bad, but it was an attempt. And I'm just gonna add, let's see. I'm gonna add a little bit of brown for like little tiny eyes. Let's get some brown in here. Okay. So I got a little tiny piece. I'm just gonna like pull that in half. Like that. And I'm just gonna stick it on. There, like that. And now I'm just gonna do the same to the other side. No, kind of looks like a dolphin. Looks more like a fish to me, but I don't know how to do like the tail because it looks really bad right now. It looks like it's just like a walking fish. Oh, it's a walking fish. That actually could be a walking fish because it's like little legs. And I'm gonna try something. So I'm gonna like take the things off. And I'm gonna like make them so it looks like they're like out. Let's see. There. Now it looks like a walking fish. So see, it just like changed over time when I was just trying to make it. At first I was attempting to make a dolphin, but instead I changed it to a walking fish, which looks amazing, in fact. So this was my attempt to the walking fish, and in the next video I'm going to be attempting to make a monkey. So I hope you enjoyed my walking fish. Bye-bye. Okay, so now I'm going to attempt to make a monkey, and like I did before with walking fish / dolphin, this isn't in the book. I'm just making it up along as I go. So, like in the other video, you don't have to do what I'm doing. You can just watch how to do it because I'm probably going to be changing stuff over time. Like if I don't like the arms, I might change it, like and replace it with something. So if you want, you can follow me. But this is just an attempt to make a monkey. If this actually works out, I'm going to be pretty happy. This was supposed to be a dolphin, but now it's a walking fish as I changed it. So you can see that I changed stuff over time. So this might not turn out as a monkey. It might turn out as something else. But this is an attempt, so we're going to try it. Okay, so I'm going to try to make the body now. And as you see, I don't have that much clay for the brown. So I'm going to try to make like a tiny monkey. And I have a lot of yellow, but I don't want to make a yellow monkey. Since most monkeys are brown. Some are orange and some are different colors, but I'm just going to make it brown for this time. So I'm going to use my trusty tool. My beautiful tool from Klutz. It's amazing. So I'm going to be using this tool. In the other video, I forgot to use this tool, but I kind of like it, so I'm going to be using it now. Oh, sorry, I dropped it. Okay, so I think this would be good for the body. Let's see if it's going to be big enough that I can use. Okay, the other clay I was using before was way softer. This is like hard as a rock. I'm going to have to like... And if your clay is like hard over time and like just becomes hard, you're gonna have to like knead it, like try to soften it like I'm doing. I'm just like squishing it and doing stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. This is gonna be my monkey's body. It's a circle right now. kind of oval, but I'm going to try to make it an oval. So I'm just going to like take my 2 fingers, roll it in the middle, back and forth like that. And now, kind of see. I'm just going to use a little support. Okay, now it's kind of like an oval now. And you can shape it any way you want it. But I'm going to do it like this because this is an attempt. So this actually looks pretty tiny for a body. So let's just add a few. Let's just add a little bit more to it. Let's see if this is going to be enough. And this floor I'm using has dots on it. So it's not the best floor. I suggest you use like a flat floor because that's going to be much better and you're not going to have bumps in it. But, okay, this is much better size for a body. Because before, it almost looked like it was supposed to be the head. Okay, so I'm just rolling this into an oval. And I think it's pretty good. So this is going to be my body. I'm going to be attaching 4 legs to it. So this is my plan. I'm going to be attaching 4 legs to it. And, two legs and 2 arms. I'm going to attach a head, and I'm going to attempt to attach a tail. And I want the monkey to be holding a banana, so I have some yellow here. But I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, so now I'm going to try to make the arms and legs. Okay, so let's just grab a little clay. And I'm just going to roll it out into like a medium thin to medium thick snake. Like that. Oops, sorry. Like that. And I'm just going to cut it in the middle. Let's see, like there. I think it worked. Yeah. These are decent lengths for some arms. But they're going to be legs for now. So before so my trick on doing this is to like put the legs on without them falling is take the bottom of your monkey and poke 2 little holes, and I'm just going to twist inside them and do the other side. Try to make them even. Like I said, I'm just going to put it up so you can't see anything right now because it's going to be easier for me to do it. So you like poke it in and you twist it. And then you have this. And then you just stick it in here. And you just press down here. And now it's like a little leg. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. And if this doesn't work for you, then you can always just put it on normally. And sometimes you're going to have to make your arm/leg a bit thinner if it won't fit, or you might have to make the hole a little bigger. So I just try to make it thinner. And then you just stick it in. Okay, that does not look really good, so I'm just going to take it out. And I'm going to cut part out. And I'm going to try again. Yeah, I think I'm going to make this hole bigger. It's not working. Okay, let's try it again.
Yeah, we're all watching him. And he doesn't even know he's going to the bathroom. Can you get off of me? Oh no, he's using
Yeah, and
I'm not on you. He's coming back.
Well, I kind of looks like monkey legs a little bit. And I'm just going to make a body thinner.
I'm not looking. I was smiling at you the whole time, and I stayed right there.
So now those are legs, and I'm going to make the body now.
He told us not to tell you.
Okay, so now just poke a hole in the sides. I just did one there. And I'm going to do the other side. Try to make them even. Like I said, it's not supposed to be perfect, but if you're like a perfect person, then you can do that. Okay, so I have 2 holes on each side. And now I'm going to do the same exact thing I did for the legs. And I'm just going to put them in the arm section. So make it into medium thin to medium thick snake. I'm going to use my computer for this because it's going to be easier. Okay, so you can make it longer if you want. Like that. And now I'm going to cut this evenly so the arms are even. And that's good. So those are going to be my arms. So like I did with the legs, I'm just going to poke them in. Like that. And luckily they actually fit. So just poke them in and just squeeze them in so they actually, oops, so they fit. And this one just keeps falling out. And squeeze like that. And now I have one arm. I'm going to do the same with the other side. And I'm just going to make the hole bigger. Okay. Sorry if I'm silent. And there is my little body with my arms and legs. You can actually move the legs and arms any way you want it. I just did them straight for now, so I'm just going to like curve it a little bit. Curve this down. And the legs, I'm going to do one leg like that and one leg like that. There is now in a very interesting position, but that's okay. So I have my body with my arms and legs, and now I'm going to attempt to make the head, which is probably going to be hard. So we're not going to use that much clay for like we did for the body. We're just going to use a little bit. And you can see I'm kind of running it low on brown, but that's okay. Okay, let's see if this is going to be enough. We still have to put the face on. And I kind of wanted to add him a banana hat. But let's see how it's going to turn out first. Okay, so let's see if this is going to fit. It's kind of, I don't know if it's a little bit small for the head, but okay, so I think this is good for the head. So now you're just going to put that in an oval too, like you did with the body. Okay, like that. I shaped it the way I want it. You can shape it the way you want it. And now, hold on, I'm just going to shape it again. Yeah, it's good. Okay. So now I'm just going to flatten the top part of my body a little bit so it's going to, the head's going to stick more. Like that. I kind of flatten it with my flattening tool. And I'm going to flatten one side of my head so it's going to stick to. And like that. And now we're just going to stick the head on the body. I'm just going to, okay. So, this looks very weird, like a little dummy, but with a very big body. But it actually looks pretty cool. You can see. Yeah, it looks cool. So I'm going to put like some yellow on the, make like a little circle on the body. So it actually has a little bit more detail. I'm just going to try to get my yellow out. Like that, okay. So don't use too much yellow because it's not like you're using it for the whole body. So maybe that's about it. And put it in a little tiny hole. I mean circle. Sorry. Circle like that. And you're just going to flatten it.
You can take it off, put the tape away, and put it in your backpack, or you can recycle it. Yeah, I had you guys take these home over during parents' performances. So take the tape off. Take the tape off, and you can either recycle it, or you can take it home.
And you're just going to put it
So take
on
the tape off, and you can either recycle it or take it home and put it in your backpack right now.
Like that.
I didn't put my name on it. This was just already
Come on. Recycle it
Like
or put it in your backpack.
No.
So now he has a little bit more detail.
Worms?
And I just remembered I haven't done the tail.
Someone put a red
So I'm gonna have to do the
Home, and I
tail.
think your mom wants you to recycle it. Probably recycle it.
Okay, so now this may sound weird, but you're gonna make a little hole on the butt. And be very gentle because you don't want to flatten the body. It's gonna be a little strength. So make a hole right there. And now he looks like he has a hole on his butt, but that's okay. Like I said, it may sound weird, but okay, so he has a hole here, and this is going to be where you put the tail. So we're going to do the same exact thing like we did the legs and the arms, but we're going to make it a little bit longer. So take your clay, take about as much as you want for the tail. I'm going to use, let's see, a little bit, but not too much. And I'm going to make this into a thin snake. Like that. There you go. Like that. And I'm going to stick it in this hole right here. Okay, stick it in. And now I'm going to try to make it secure. Like that, so it won't fall out. And now you can shape it any way you want it. I'm just going to shape it in a circle. Like that. So you have your little tail, little monkey. And now I'm just going to put a face on it. I'm going to use some yellow for the face. Take little dots. So little dots for the eyes. You can do the face any way you want it. I'm just gonna make it simple. Yeah. And then you can just put a face on it. Excuse me, I'm just gonna. Oops. Yeah, actually I'm not going to use yellow for the eyes because the eyes are a little bit too big. I'm just going to poke little holes like that. Like that. You can see a little face. And I forgot to put ears, so I'm just going to do that quickly. They're going to be yellow. Very tiny. Don't make them too big. That. Circle and just place them on the head like that. And do the same with the other. Take a little bit, not too much. Put that in a circle. There. Smush that. I want it to be like a thick pancake, not too thin. And it actually kind of looks like a monkey. When you look at it with the tail, it looks more like a monkey, but I think it looks pretty cool. So this was my attempt to make a monkey, and I think it turned out pretty well. So I hope you enjoyed the video on how to learn to make a monkey, and I hope you enjoyed on making a little fish, walking fish. So in the next video, I will be teaching you on how to use the tools, and if you don't have those tools, how to use some that you have at home. So, bye-bye. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be teaching you, if you don't have this tool, I'm going to be teaching you on how to use different tools that you have around your house, like scissors, toothpick, pencil. It doesn't have to be a mechanical pencil, doesn't really matter. A ruler, and something round, like a grippy or this yarn thingy. So first off, we're going to start with the toothpick. And the toothpick is actually pretty handy because it can technically almost do anything. So toothpicks, I usually use the toothpick for making holes. So take the toothpick, just put it in and take it out. And there you have your beautiful hole. And it is pretty handy for holes because it's round and it's tiny. And now you can make as many holes as you want. Plus, toothpicks don't just make holes for you. They also do pretty other cool stuff too. Toothpicks, by the way, can also cut your clay if you don't have this knife tool that I have. Because this thing also has a poke thingy, like a toothpick, but it's much bigger. But it has a knife. Toothpicks, they can be used as knives. So, take a toothpick, place it down like that, and you just go and all the way down, and now you have two halves. So they can be good for cutting stuff, but this tool is pretty much a little bit better, but if you don't have it, then toothpicks are a great use for cutting stuff. See, like that. Toothpicks can also make dents, which are pretty cool. So, like I was cutting, you take your toothpick, you put it into the clay, but you don't go all the way down, that's going to cut the whole thing. So you just go down a little bit, and you have an indent. Like that. And like that. And see, now you have indents. And you can make cool designs using this toothpick, like poking, indents, and cutting stuff. So toothpicks are really handy if you don't have this tool. And all the tools that I'm going to show you are really handy if you don't have this tool. So now we're going to move on to the scissors. Scissors, well, are pretty good for cutting stuff. But a toothpick is a little bit better. But if you don't have toothpicks, well, scissors is going to be your next option. So take your clay, going to put it down like that, and you're just going to cut all the way like that. And now you have two little halves. Toothpicks are, like I said, toothpicks are a little bit better for cutting, but scissors are still really good. Scissors can also make holes. So put your scissors together like that, and just poke a hole like that. You know you have a hole. It depends on how thick your scissors are. If they're really thick, then you're going to have a big hole. If they're not that thick, you're going to have a smaller hole. See? But if you want a smaller hole, you can just take it apart like that, and I'll show you on the other side. Poke a hole here, and now you have a much tinier hole than before. So that is all that I found for scissors. Actually, I think one more would be good. So scissors are pretty good with flattening. A little bit. Not the best, but they're still pretty good. See, I just flattened it using this part of the scissors, and it actually came out pretty good. So scissors are useful if you don't have this tool, and if you don't have toothpicks, they would be good if you have scissors, because almost everybody has scissors. It's not like you don't have scissors. So now we're going to move on to the pencil. This is my mechanical pencil. If you don't have a mechanical pencil, you can always just use a pencil. It's fine. So take your mechanical pencil or pencil and just make a little hole like that. Pencils make way smaller holes than a scissors or a toothpick because my lead is very tiny. So they make way tinier holes. Like that. So they're good for making holes, and they're also kind of good for flattening stuff. Let me try something. So I'm just gonna flatten it. See, they're they're pretty good for making flattening stuff. Just gonna have to roll it around in the clay. So pencils are good for making holes and flattening stuff. So now we're going to move on to the grippy and the yarn thing that I have here. And I just picked these two out because they're round. And they can actually are pretty good because they can make holes like that. And they actually made a pretty cool design. Let me try picking it up. And they see the grippy just made a cool little like hat almost type thing. And let's try with the yarn thing. So the yarn thing, let me just push it down a little bit. Okay. And like that. Yarn thing is also pretty good for making that. Now you just have a little hole. So these two both had holes. So that's why they made this cool little design here. And they're also pretty good for rolling things out. Like that. And let's try this. Yeah, the grippy made a little design because it has lines inside, but it's still pretty cool. Now let's move on to the ruler. And by the way, grippies and this thing, they are really good for making those cool designs and for flattening things. Okay, so with the ruler, rulers are pretty cool for cutting stuff. They are much better than the toothpick and the scissors. So since they are way sharper, you just put your ruler down in the middle and make sure it goes all the way down. And now you have two halves. It is way better than the toothpick and the scissors because the scissors made it uneven and the toothpick didn't make it really that nice. So rulers are really cool for cutting stuff, and they're also good for flattening because they are flat. So like that, I made a flat thing, and they're cool for making designs because this one has holes. Let's try, and a middle hole. So this was my video on how to use the tools that you have at home. And in the next video, I'm going to be showing you on how to use tools that real clay makers actually use as tools. So, bye.
So like I said in the other video before, I'm going to be teaching you guys on how to use like these awesome, like kind of professional tools a little bit. So this one that I have right here, it has a little tiny like points thing that are technically used for poking holes, like that. And this one, this other tip here is like way thicker, so it can also be used for making little tiny holes, and also for like kind of for like making like cool designs. So I'm using the thin part right now, and I just like making cool designs like lines and stuff like that. And then for the thicker part, you can also make lines, and you can make like indents and like press down like that. I'm just like testing them out because you can always experiment with your tools because you can always find interesting ways to use them so that you don't have to go out and buy something that's going to be used with this, like with other tools. So this tool is kind of pretty useful because it both has the thick part and the thin part, so they both can be used for various reasons, like I'm just doing. And then it has this part where technically you can just like hold it like that, and now you have like a little hole. See, like I said, you can always experiment with these different tools. And this tool is from my Klutz kit, which is awesome because I use it every single time I make something, because it technically has everything that you need in a tool. So it has this pointy tool where you can make like little holes. Alright. And if you press down harder, like that, it's gonna get cool designs. So
this end is used for poking, and the other end is almost like a knife. So technically, you can just cut stuff with it, like that, and now you have two halves. So I use this like every single time I make something because it's technically really useful. And then with the base part right here, it can be used like flattening stuff, and also this part also. So like flatten here. So this is my number one tool I have, and in the video before this, I was teaching you guys on how to use stuff that you might have at home, like toothpicks and other stuff. So these two tools that I have are really handy because they're technically used for almost anything. Making holes to cutting stuff. So these are the tools that I like, and you can always go and experiment with them because they might have some valuable stuff. Like you can use them for different reasons instead of going out and buying whatever that you need for that reason. So I guess that's it. So bye.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys on like the different types of clay and what they're good for. So I have like a whole like section with different types of clay, and I have I have 6 that I'm going to be talking to you about. So first, we're going to start with the baking clay or polymer clay. I'm just going to be calling it baking clay because that's technically what I used in my videos. So baking clay, which is also known as polymer clay. So what's baking clay? Well, here you'll find all the information that you need on baking clay, like what is it and what it's used for. So what's baking clay and what can you do with it? Well, baking clay is good for making little charms that you can put on bracelets or give to some of your friends, like technically I do. So it is also good for making sculptures and models that you can bake and it will hard, so whenever you touch your creations, you won't make an indent in it. It's also good for little charms. It's also good for making little charms for a necklace and a bracelet. So technically, baking clay is almost good for anything because you can make it with you can make anything with it and you can actually bake it. So, what is baking clay? Well, baking clay is technically hardenable clay. That means that baking clay is able to bake in an oven, so your creations can harden and be hard. So it's not like you can just. So after you bake it, it's not like you can just destroy it. It's actually going to be hard. So next is earthenware clay. And earthenware clays were some of the earliest clays used by potters, and it's the most common type of clay found. So these clays are highly plastic, so they are easily worked and can be very sticky. Earthenware clays contain iron and other mineral impurities, which cause the clay to reach its optimum hardness at between 1,745 degrees Fahrenheit and 2,012 degrees Fahrenheit. So typical colors for most earthenware clays are red, orange, yellow, and light gray. Colors for fired earthenware includes brown, red, orange, buff, medium gray, and white. So fired clays are in large part determined by the content of mineral impurities and the type of the fire. So now we're going to move on to the stonework clays. And stonework clays are plasticky and are often gray when moist. So their fire colors range through light gray and buff to medium gray and brown. Fire colors are greatly affected by the type of firing. Mid-fire stonework clay bodies. So they are formulated to fire to maturity between 2,150 degrees Fahrenheit and 2,260 degrees Fahrenheit. Then high fire stone clay, so their bodies are fired to mature hardness between 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit and 2,336 degrees Fahrenheit. So next we're going to move on to the ball clays. So ball clays are highly plastic and contain few minerals and impurities. They fire to their mature hardness at about 2,336 degrees. When moist, they are dark gray, and when fired, they are either light gray or light buff.
I'm sorry.
Ball clays do have serious drawbacks. They cannot be used by themselves due to their excessive shrinkage during drying and firing. They are extremely useful, however, when added to other clays to increase workability and plasticity. So technically you can just add ball clay to different types of other clays, so it's going to be easier to work with the other clay when you mix it.
Do I just push that?
No.
Now fire clay. So fire clays vary widely in their characteristics. The hallmark is their high firing rate. They mature at about 2,696 degrees Fahrenheit. Although relatively free from mineral impurities, they tend to have spots of iron which lend a speckled appearance once fired. And if you look at the picture, it kind of looks like that. Fire clays are often used in stonework clay bodies to increase their maturity temperature and to give the fired clays a bit extra roughness or tooth. They are also used fuel-fired kilns to create cone packs, which monitor temperature, as supports for wear or shelving, and to seal doors. And I'm not sure how to pronounce the first word, but I'm just going to use the second word, which is porcelain clay. So, due to their mineral purity, porcelain clays are used for porcelain. So I believe this is pronounced kaolin, so I'm just going to call it like that. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, it doesn't really matter, but although kaolin's clay do have some range in color, they are all very light in color. While moist, they will be light gray and will fire in the range between a very light gray or buff to near white and white. Kaolin's clays are not nearly as plastic as other clays and are difficult to work with. Pure kaolin clays fire to mature about 3,272 degrees Fahrenheit. They are often mixed with other clays to both increase workability and lower the firing temperature. So it's kind of the same as another type of clay, which I forgot the name was. So many porcelain bodies are a mixture of kaolins and ball clays. So I found all the information for these different types of clay, and I used this website, so I'll show you what it is. So it's this website, and I just given credit to it since I got all the information from here. So I hope you learned about these different types of clay, and then you can pick which one is best for you. And bye then.
So thank you guys so much for watching my video. I'm sorry that it's about like an hour long, but at least you learned something. And I hope you guys can like tell your friends to watch this video, because I actually spent a lot of time on it, and I want people to actually learn how to make stuff, because I have a book and some people don't have the whole like kit, because I have a book and like some tools that came with the book, and so I want people to learn how to do like a few creations from my book. So I would really appreciate if you guys tell your friends and some other people that are really close to you to actually watch this video, because I think it's actually pretty cool, because I made it, so I know it's pretty cool, but I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And I hope that you guys can also check out my teacher's website so that you can leave comments on my blog post, which I'm going to put my video on it and some other stuff. So all you have to do, and I'm also going to put it in the video before this, well actually it's going to be in a different video, but I'm just repeating it again. You're going to have to go to paulsolars.weebly.com. So I'll spell it for you. PAUL.SOLARZ.weebly, WEEBLY.com. And that's going to get you to my teacher's, our classroom website. So you can explore around there. But if you want to see my blog post, you're going to go to present. You're going to scroll down to passion time, and you're going to go to round 5. You're going to click on round 5. You're going to scroll down until you see my passion time question. which is can I teach others on how to create creations and sculptures using clay? What types of clay are the best for different creations and how to use the tools? I kind of flopped the question around, but it's going to be about clay. So you can go to my blog post and you can leave comments on what I should do better, and you can also read what I put on there, and it's gonna and also there's gonna be a picture of my website, and when you click on that picture, it's gonna get a link. You're gonna be sent to the link of my website, and you can check the website out. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are actually gonna try to make some creations that I taught you. So thanks again, and bye.